Now, this conversation is one that really interests me because I love when people, out of, I would say, passion and, of course, the generosity of their hearts, decide to give back to society. And my guest here is one of such persons. We have the CEO at 8thGear Hub and Venture Studio, Damilola Obidairo. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Dami, you're doing a great work. With what I have seen and all about 8thGear Hub, I get to wonder what kind of a person would want to go into that. But just before I get to that, what is 8thGear Hub and Venture Studio? What is it about?
8thGear Hub and Venture Studio is an enterprise support organization. What it means is that we are primarily focused on supporting businesses, MSME founders or MSME operators to succeed at what they do.
So, how long has this been going on for?
Counting 6 years now.
And all through, before you got into this, what were you doing?
My first degree is in chemical engineering, funny enough. However, I have had the opportunity to transit between engineering, which is infrastructure, to telecoms. And recently, about 10 years ago, the entrepreneurship innovation ecosystem
came in. But how did that passion develop? What were you doing? What did you see? Because most of the time, people will tell you that for things like this, you've seen a need and you decide to meet it. Where was that, when did that point come, that turning point that you decided, look, hey, there's this need for maybe digital inclusion and all of that, and I can meet that need. How did it happen for you?
Upon my experience, while in my 9 to 5, I noticed that quite a number of businesses in Africa were really struggling. I am fortunate to have had an MBA from Quantic School of Business and Technology, and I could see clearly that a number of businesses just required a little tweak here and there, and they couldn't just see the light, and just with a little spark of light, they could do better. I'm also one that is quite aware that the progress of Africa, Nigeria to be specific, lies in the hands of MSMEs, primarily.
Very true.
Government, yes. Big, small business owners really hold the future of every nation. Government will play their role in creating an enabling environment, as we will say. But at the end of the day, the most important people that will develop any nation are MSMEs. So why not focus on providing access to the support that they need? And of course, I'd seen a number of businesses, I'd seen a number of growing businesses struggle with access to basic information, struggle with access to I'd say a number of young people wouldn't get into businesses just to survive, as a means of surviving, not necessarily to build something that actually benefits the community, the nation at large, or even contributes to the GDP. That's a very big conversation. As far away, I just want to survive to see the next day. And I'm also aware that I've seen a number of young people who then have this talent, they have these skills, they've identified problems to solve, but do not have the means, which informs the vision of 8thGear, which is an Africa where everyone who has the drive to succeed has the means, access to the means to do so.
I love that, access to the means. So how do you put this together practically to a young guy out there who probably has a business or doesn't even have and wants to start? How does 8thGear come in? How does he maybe access the services that 8thGear offers, 8thGear Hub offers?
Practically speaking, at the Hub, we provide quite a number of services. First and foremost, the basis is our subscription. That allows people access monthly accountability services. First and foremost, we help you clarify your business model, we clarify your vision, your goals, take it from you, and then support you along the way to check how you're meeting those goals. That's a paid subscription at the Hub.
At the Hub, okay, yes. Wonderful.
But aside from that, we also then layer access to infrastructure. We have co-working spaces at 3 different locations in Lagos, one at Yaba, one at Magodo, one upcoming in Alimosho.
Okay.
All right. Now, those hubs serve as office spaces. That's basic. Aside from that, we offer business advisory. We also then offer what we call talent placement, because we know that one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs then have is being able to access the right people to work with them in their organization. So we especially digital technology, so tech talents, like we say. And then finally, we also then provide what we call access to digital tools. We're authorized resellers of Zoho Africa. We're enterprise business partners with MTN and a number of B2B, that's business-to-business startups that are providing digital tools that other businesses can use.
Wonderful.
And so we put all this together, and then we become more like that one-stop shop, really, where MSMEs can come in. I need to register my CAC, there are lawyers on ground, there are shared services on ground. I need to do my financial statements, there are accountants on ground. Just one hub where we can all share services and then see you grow and then move out of the hub.
Wonderful. Now, you also do something which I really, really like, trainings. You also have trainings. You have paid levels and you have free levels. Tell us about those trainings.
All right. We have a couple of trainings, both for MSMEs and especially for young people who want to access digital skills and we want to learn digital skills and then put them to use. First, most of our MSME trainings are also our capacity development trainings. We have, in fact, one around export, teaching MSMEs how to package themselves for export, coming up in February. Free? Yes, free. Most of our programs, by the way, let me state this so I don't forget, most of our programs are free. We have the generous support of even international organizations like the United States African Development Foundation, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF, and GIZ and the likes, who actually are very interested in the same things we are, and then support most of these programs
that you do.
That we do. So we have those SME training, but I want to focus a little on the digital skills training for young people that we have. It's particularly interesting because we find a number of young people who say, I have nothing to do, I'm seated at home, and I really wish I could just learn a tech skill and pick things up. But we're saying we have these opportunities here where you do not have to actually pay a dime. In fact, you will get opportunity to some stipends to transport you to the hub.
Wonderful.
And your first 3 months of internship, which is a core component of the program, you also get some stipends from the project, aside from what you get from where you're placed.
Do you need, is there any level of qualification that is needed for this particular training for any young person? Do you, is there a prerequisite? Something that somebody needs before you get into it?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
For most of these trainings, your literacy level